Hey everybody, it's me, Kendall, your Teen Services Librarian here at the Blue Hill Library. I am here for another Crafternoons. This month we are learning to make lucky stars out of paper, and then we are going to make a decoration with them. So in your craft kits, if you received one, or if you haven't and you want to take part in this craft, the things you're going to need are a set of chopsticks, some thin pieces of paper. Construction paper works. These are just like pieces of colored paper. Regular paper will work fine too if you want that. You'll need some embroidery thread and for the embroidery thread, just making sure I'm not missing any of the supplies, you will, for extra supplies that didn't come in your craft kit, you're going to want some scissors, some tacky glue or some sort of white glue that will dry clear, and possibly some tape that may be helpful. So let's get started. First things first, you can open your chopsticks. We're not going to need these immediately, but we'll have them ready for when we do. And you're just going to want to slowly pull them apart. If they break a little bit crooked, that's totally fine. I'm going to use this side that has less of the chunk because we're going to be using this as like kind of like a curtain rod almost. So we're going to be dangling our stars off of this, which I think will look really cool when we're done. Let's see. So our lucky stars that we're going to be making out of paper will look like this. Hopefully you can see this okay. But they're pretty fun, simple little origami craft you can make. And that's what we're going to use our strips of paper for. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm also going to recommend another video that may be helpful just so you have some different options as far as learning how to make these stars. Also, I can't quite zoom in as well as this other video was able to, so hopefully that will work out okay. So to make a lucky star, you're going to take one of your strips of paper and you're going to loop it like this. So up and over. And then this bottom piece, you're going to pull through the loop you just made, almost like you're tying it. And then you're going to start to pull it together. So you'll see that it's kind of starting to form a little shape here. And you just want to make sure you keep the pieces of paper flat, and then you'll kind of press down on the creases. So now it looks like this. This tail, you're going to fold over. And since it's, if you make sure it's long enough, you can tuck this in underneath the other piece. So that way you don't have to worry about it coming loose. And then this longer piece we're going to be folding with. So we'll, from this side, you can see it's opposite. So on mine, it's coming out here. So you'll want to fold it opposite from where it's coming out. So you'll fold it like this, and you want to go along the edges of the shape that we've already created. So you'll fold it over the first time, and then you're going to go over on the other side. And I'll turn mine over so you can see. So keeping it in line with those edges, you're going to fold again. And it's okay if it's a tiny bit crooked as long as you're mostly in line. And then this last piece, you're going to fold over and tuck it into wherever you have space to. So now it should look like this. Now what we're going to do, when you're folding, you don't want to do it too tightly, so that way you can still have space. But once you have this, you're going to gently push in on the bottom and make a bit of a crease So see how, whoops, see how now we have two little legs? And then we're gonna do that same thing on each side. You're gonna push in and create a point. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Now you might find that it dents in a little bit or it's not popping out perfectly, and that's okay. I think I put plenty of pieces of paper in there so everyone could have some practice pieces if needed. Also, I've known how to make these for a long time and I still don't even do them perfect. Here's a great example. This is one I made earlier and I didn't leave the tail long enough, so it came apart. So it would have looked like a star, but it's all loose and it wasn't, I didn't want to fix it because I wanted to show you guys that they're not going to come out perfect every time. And there have been a couple times where I have actually put a little piece of tape on the back if the tail isn't long enough. So if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. But you can see I have another little pink star. I'm going to do this one more time and hopefully this will be helpful for you guys. I've got some extra blue paper here. You want to start making your loop pretty big so you have plenty of a tail left over. And you don't want to crease these too hard, especially with these flimsier pieces of paper, because they don't like to pop open as easily as the thicker papers do. So we're just going to, so I pulled through the loop and then I'm pressing down on the base part. This part you can crease a lot because this is like the center of it and we'll hold it all together. I'm going to fold this little tail over. If you can't fold it into anything, that's okay. You'll just hold on to it. And when you go to fold this longer tail, it will eventually cover over it. So you don't have to worry about that coming loose. So I'm going to start folding like this. And then I'm going to go up. Then over the top. So it lines up with this side. See? And then up. And then I've got kind of a long tail, so I'm going to fold this down. And even though it's long, I'm still going to slip it into this piece here. And it might poke out on the other side, but that's okay. You can either trim this piece off with scissors if that happens, or you can fold it again and then put a little piece of tape on it. But I'm going to trim this just so I don't have to worry about it. Boop. So now we have our little shape again, and we're going to do the same thing. Like I said, on these thinner pieces of paper, you have to be a little more gentle because they don't quite like to fold the same as the others. So if you're loose when you're folding over, it should work out okay. And sometimes it helps to like push this against something, like if you have a table, you can kind of brace your hands a little bit and that can be helpful. I accidentally folded part of this too tight, so it's not coming out not as perfect as I would like it to be, but it's a good reminder that nothing can be perfectly perfect. So these thinner papers are a bit more challenging to work with, I'm finding. So there's another blue star. I might have to touch this one up a little bit, but here we are. So now that I've shown you this a couple times, if you need to reference the other video, I'm going to put a link for it in the description. So that way, if you need some extra help, it's there. But now I'm going to show you how we're going to dangle these. So you'll grab some of your embroidery thread and you can make this as long as you want. I think I'm going to go about this length and just cut. And then you can cut as many pieces of string as you want. And then we're going to tie it around our chopstick. So then we have this dangling down. You want this pretty tight so it's not going to slide around on you. Okay, so I've got one string tied on. That's all I'm going to do for now. And I'm going to trim this piece off a little bit so I don't have so much hanging. There's that. And then we're just going to glue our stars onto this string. So you'll take your tacky glue or whatever other kind of glue it is that you're using. Hopefully this will come out okay. I haven't used this in a while, so. So I think my glue is clogged. So I'm going to use, thankfully, I have a brush handy over here. So I'm going to try and get this open if I can, and then just brush some glue on. Or I will be right back. I had some extra white glue in here, so I grabbed that so we don't have to keep trying to deal with the tacky glue. So with this, whatever glue you're using, you're going to put a little dot on the back of your star. I'm not having very good luck with glue today. Okay, I think we're in working order now. Just like a tiny dot. Doesn't need to be anything too big because we want to remember that embroidery floss is not very thick. So I have a little dot on mine, if you can see that. And wherever you want to hang it on your embroidery floss, you're just going to press it into that. And you're obviously going to want to let this dry for a little while so they don't fall off. But here is what it would look like. So you can continue from here and just keep lining up your stars until you have as many hanging as you want. And you'll do several, like 3 or 4 or 5, however many you want of these across the top of your chopstick. And then you'll have a cute little dangling star decoration. So I'm going to put a few more on the string just so you can get an idea of what it'll look like, and hopefully you will have lots of fun making yours. Let's see. I'm going to put one on the bottom so you can see what it'll be like weighted down, and then I will leave you to make your own. Now, obviously some glue will dry faster than other kinds of glue. This one did dry pretty quickly, but when you're doing yours, just be cautious not to try and hang these too soon because you don't want them to fall apart. That would be so sad. Okay. So here is my pink star on the bottom. So obviously these stars will help weigh down the string. The more you put on them, and they will dangle. It'll make almost like a little curtain and decoration of lucky stars. I hope you have a lot of fun with this project. I did have another idea if you're interested, but with these strips of paper, you could take some time to write some wishes or some goals on the inside before you fold them up to your lucky stars. If you do that, I hope you have a lot of fun with it. I would love to see your guys' creations when you're done. So if you want to, you can send me pictures like always. My email address is kendall.chapman@bhpl.net. I will hopefully see you all next month. I'm really looking forward to doing more crafts with you. I hope you have fun with this one, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.